my name is Elizabeth and welcome to my channel. In today's episode I am rescuing a very cheap David Austin rose that is looking a lot worse than where to see if I can revive it. I'm also redoing part of my vegetable patch that hasn't been successful so far, so I'm updating that. I'm doing a little bit of general tidying around the garden, and I'm also going to be finally unpacking some garden ornaments that I bought from my flat that I actually handmade. So I hope you enjoy this episode. The other day when I was at the garden centre, I saw this rose and I left it behind, and I kept thinking about it afterwards, mainly because it has my name and it's a very, very pretty rose. So I actually popped back there today to go and pick it up, and it looks pretty ropey. I did get a good bargain on it, but I'm not actually 100% sure if this is going to live. I'm going to pop it in behind the pinks that I've planted, because it's a shrub rose, so it will eventually have some height to it, and that will go up against the fence. So I'm going to plant that in now and hope for the best. I'm just going to test these bits just to see if they're alive. I don't think they are. And yeah, hopes and prayers for this one, I think. But if it can't reach it. If it does come back to life properly, it could be a really, really stunning rose and a bargain. There it is in its new home. So hopefully it perks up and eventually it will grow up along here against this fence and just add a bit of height and interest to this little patch of border. I'm just visiting my parents at the moment and eyeing up their garden. This is their little allotment area at the very bottom, which I'm very envious of, because I mean they've got field views over there, we've got chickens through here, ducks up there, some beehives back there as well. Some parts of it are all a bit overgrown, but I've got a really nice blackcurrant bush here. So strawberries, plenty of onions growing over here. Just a nice, good sized patch. A middle bit needs sorting out, but it's a nice little addition to the garden that I'm very jealous of. I've got an hour before I need to go and pick up my daughter from nursery, so I'm deciding I'm going to blitz some small tasks in the garden that just need doing. They're nothing particularly big, but they're things that need doing. I've got a load of pots that need to be moved into the shed because they're just lying around the place. Some stuff that needs to go in the bin. I've got a whole section at the bottom of the garden that needs a really good weed. And I need to deadhead all of the roses as well. I'm just debating what task to start with first. But yes, I've got 60 minutes. Oh, I need to do a bit tidying up in the front garden too. So let's see how much I can get done in 60 minutes. Rose number 1 that needs deadheading. Luckily, I tackled most of this the other week, and we've got some new buds coming up, actually, which is great. So it's got its second lot coming, but there are a few that I just need to quickly get rid of. Rose number 2. This one's harder to get to because I've got to kind of battle my way through this shrub. This shrub is going to come out in the autumn. I don't know what it is. It hasn't got any flowers. It's just a bit green, a bit greenery. That will come out so I can get to this rose. So it's only got a few coming up there. I don't know if it gets the second batch of flowers or not. It'd be nice if it did. So yeah, let's get this one now. Rose number 3. This does look like it's got small buds coming out, which is great. So I'm just going to finish deadheading this one as well. I started it again a couple of weeks ago. This is very, very thorny though. I actually caught myself so badly last week that it bruised my hand. So I need to be a bit more careful with this one. That is 3 roses deadheaded, and it is 1:15. So I've got 45 minutes left to go. And I'm going to now move load of pots that are just lying around and get them all into the shed. Literally just have them down here. These ones are in fact just growing weeds, empty ones. And then further up the
garden I've also got a load of other pots just lying around. What I hadn't planned in this hour was having to dispose of these, which apparently are social pear sawfly larvae. Oh, they do make me feel quite itchy. They're gross. I'm going to cut off that branch and put it in the bottom of the garden and hope the blackbirds enjoy them. This little area is not accessible to everyone. I have to climb over a fence. But it will one day be part of the garden, and I really need to get on top of these weeds that have sprouted up since we had the good weather, and the nettles. Just, yeah, do a bit of weeds. I'm going to try and get rid of as much of the weeds as possibly can. The geranium's going to stay. And I still love these Love in the Mist. They've popped up as well. Hopefully those seeds spread more. I'll get more next year. And I will eventually clear away some of this bamboo. If I have time, I'm going to clip away some bamboo today, but we'll see how I go timing wise. I currently have 30 minutes left. I've now cleared out all of those weeds. I've left a couple of poppies behind. Don't want to sure what colour they are. Hopefully something pretty. I've started taking the sting nettles away from here. A lot of the sting nettle roots are behind this, which is kind of hard to get to. So I might leave that for today. I've got more bindweed to take away as well. It definitely looks better than what it did, and I have filled up an entire bag of just weeds. Oh, and that concludes an hour of quick gardening. Ready for tomorrow, hopefully.
One of the very last things that I have yet to unpack are some garden ornaments. I did a course with my mum, like a day course, on making some ceramic garden ornaments that all represent some form of seed head. So this one is obviously a poppy. Yeah. This one hasn't quite survived the move, so I'm gonna have to super glue this one together. This one is a, is it called sea ivy, I think? I may have got that wrong. Sea thistle. Might be sea thistle, something along the lines. So I just need to super glue that back together. And then let's see if this one survives. Yes. And this one, I can't think the name of this one, but it's little daisies that kind of fold inside out. The name will come to me later. So I've got a metal pole that slots into the bottom of each of these that I can then stake into the garden. I know where I'm going to put them now, which is why I've held off getting them out. So I'm going to pop these two out, and I'm going to try and fix this one, because this one is my favourite. And add them to the garden.
So I popped the little poppy seed head over here next to the maple. We've got this one over here, and then the second one will also go in this bed, either further down towards the fig tree or here next to the chamomile, depending on whether I can get it fixed, and also just on like height. I think it'll look nice. A few weeks ago I added the additions to my vegetable patch. So I've got this lovely tomato plants here that are doing really well. The kale is doing really well as well. I want to net that this weekend to stop the butterflies from getting to it and having caterpillars everywhere. Now this area I did plant rows of beetroot, salad leaves and spinach, and all I've got is weeds, so I need to pull all of this up. And the reason I know it's all weeds is because I've used the same compost in the front garden as well, and that was compost that was left over from when I moved in, and it's obviously just got lots and lots of weed seeds in it. So I'm going to pull all these up and then start again, because then I'll know that this is weed free and that what I do plant is actually edible, because this is not. So I've cleared all of the weeds. I'm just going to rake it over and then have a hunt through my seed packets for some newer ones that aren't as old. And I'm also going to tie my tomatoes to the tops of the canes. They've already been tied on once further down. And then I also need to remove these
inside stems here. And I'll do that to all of them. Oh, can't pull that one up very easily. Now, I see different people do different things. Some people say you should pull these out and others say not to. So I've got some more of these tomato plants further up in the garden, and I'm not going to pull the side shoots out and see which ones have a better yield this year. I was something a little bit different to what I did the time before, and that is I have made squares instead. So up here I've got radishes, down here I've got beetroot, here I've got a mixed salad leaf one, and down here I've got a green salad leaf lettuce as well. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, it's only a small area, but I want to try and make the most of it and then plan for next year properly. This very raised bed I don't think is being utilised enough. When I moved in, it was full of herbs, and some of the herbs have absolutely taken over and others have gotten lost in amongst it. This I think is marjoram, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I don't know what I'd even use this for, and it's huge. So later in the year I'm going to dig this out and pot it up, because I'm sure it's going to have some really pretty flowers on it when it goes to seed, but it's not I'm not using it for anything. There are some strawberries in here, but they have been eaten by the birds. Again, I've got another kind of lemon thyme, I think that is. I won't use that in my cooking. There was a thyme plant. There it is, but it's been completely hidden by the sage, which I will use. And then not a lot else. I feel like there was another herb down here somewhere, but it's just been taken over by this. So I'm thinking next year maybe having some garlic growing in here, and then something that can kind of grow in there and spread out. So maybe some form of squash or courgette, or maybe beans would be a really good idea to have in there, because they can just trail outwards instead of upwards, or they can trail up against the fence. Either way, this is not being used properly. And then I'm going to get some smaller herbs, and over here I do have some window boxes that were left behind, so I'm going to fit those underneath the window ledge, and then I'll have the herbs in there in a much smaller, more usable capacity, and herbs that I'll actually use, like basil. I think basil will do really well here because it's so sunny. And then have thyme, oregano, all that stuff in there as well. My mum has the most gorgeous little Californian poppies that are a beautiful yellow colour. They've self-seeded all over her patio, so I have nabbed some seeds. I'm going to scatter around my patio, but also in the flower beds as well, and in the front garden, just as little pops of cheerful colour. I wanted to give an update on the rose that I bought, because that was about 2 weeks ago since I filmed that first bit. And as you can see, I do have a dead branch here that can be removed. Oh, that's just snapping off right there. But the rest of it is actually looking really healthy. There's loads of new growth on there, lots of leaves. Other than that bit I've just snapped off, there's nothing dead left on it. So I think this rose is going to be absolutely fine. So hopefully next year we'll have some really gorgeous blooms off of it.